morning of December 7, 1941, the largest U.S. Pacific naval base was bombed at 8 a.m. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt called it a day that will live in infamy. The attack brought us into the World War, and we were soon fighting in the Pacific. General Douglas MacArthur was in charge of the Pacific Theater. On April 18th, Lieutenant Colonel Doolittle ordered the first air raid of Japan. He intended the attack to raise American morale for the war. Because the United States was too far away from Japan, Doolittle dared to launch bombers off an aircraft carrier in the Pacific. This was an act that had never been done before. Miraculously, his plan worked and every bomber successfully launched. This was then referred to as Doolittle's Raid. In early June of 1942, Admiral Chester Nimitz moved to defend the island of Midway. Midway Island is an island in between Japan and Hawaii. A Japanese code was intercepted and decoded to say that Midway was Japan's next target. It was said that the Battle of Midway avenged Pearl Harbor. Another strategic island the U.S. took was Iwo Jima. You might remember the famous flag-hoisting picture taken there. After Iwo Jima, we turned to Okinawa. Okinawa showed to be even more of a challenge than Iwo Jima. We lost 7,600 lives, which is no comparison to Japan's 100,000 casualties. We were slowly winning over the Pacific. Back on the home front, we were still facing challenges. Many Japanese citizens were being placed in internment camps in order to prevent military sabotage. The internment camps were bad places to live, with limited resources and housing, forcing most people to live in small, sparse apartments. When the war in the Pacific began to wane, President Harry S. Truman, after receiving a letter from Albert Einstein, ordered the secret production of the Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Project was the U.S.'s plan to create the first atomic bomb. At the same time, the Third Reich was trying to do the exact same thing, but we proved to be far superior in our physics when we successfully dropped the first atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan. The atom bomb forced the Japanese to surrender, ending the war in the Pacific. The formal signing of the surrender was on September 2, 1945. We now know it as Victory over Japan Day, or more commonly, V-Day.